Hey folks, people have been asking at a dinner last night what we should be doing about highlighting cases such as the Pritchard case. Well, here's a case far more important than the Pritchard case, which is a money laundering nightmare for the state of Connecticut. This next case is far worse. There is no comparison to this next case. So while in Arizona, I met an attorney who was representing the Theodora family from Nashville, Tennessee. And she's a super terrific lady, conservative. And she was surprised I knew about the Theodora case because I've been following it ever since I met Joyce the Voice at karaoke on my birthday. Joyce the Voice was an advocate for this family, which I'd like to highlight what's going on. I'm going to take myself off the screen. Kidnapped by the state on November 9th, 2018, a new baby, Sophia Theodora, was illegally taken. This is on the internet, folks. You can find it. And you're being asked to call the governor. But when you look at the case, which I'm about to highlight, there's no other case like this, I hope. Human trafficked. This is the husband, this is the wife. That's the baby. These are the two brothers. The Middlesex Hospital took this kid. Contact your state leaders, no doubt. It's kidnapping. It certainly is. Here we go. Read the story. This husband and wife were driving from Nashville, Tennessee to Maine, and they were driving through Connecticut. She was pregnant, and she has two boys. They were on their way to Maine. She felt ill. She stopped at the Middlesex Hospital. What a mistake. That's the Transgender Therapy Center of Connecticut. They have doctors there treating 5, 6, 7-year-old girls to hormone therapy when in fact they're minors. They're not 21. There's a lot of issues. And who's to say what's right and wrong? But we certainly can't leave it up to these people. When you hear this case, you will be shocked. So here's Susie, the mom. That's Peter. Here we go. Stand for Sophia. The state of Connecticut removed Sophia from her mother via forced C-section, claiming it was an emergency. It was not. After they proceeded to falsely accuse Susie and her Egyptian-born husband of being a Muslim terrorist, and Susie a drug addict, they stole the child. They claimed Sophia was being neglected and was in danger. They claimed that Sophia was projected to be a victim of child abuse. Projected, okay, when it hadn't even happened. Yet the only reason they wrote on the report for taking Sophia was that the parents were uncooperative. Excuse me, they sedated her against her will and stole her child. Yet once the public sees the actual evidence, despite the internet harassment and claims of a hoax, it clearly shows that a major crime has been committed. And all the state's claims about Susie and Peter fall apart. Keep in mind, I was accused of being a domestic terrorist while 200 large checks were stolen, while 1,239 small checks were cashed and stolen. So what they do is they accuse you of being a Muslim terrorist, and they rob you. In this case, it was kidnapping and worse. Corrupt Dr. Carla McLeod. Well, I tried to speak to her. That didn't happen. I tried to speak to Ann Bingham. That didn't happen. And Laura Boney. That didn't happen. Here's Ann Bigham. Here's her file. That's her picture. Obstetrics and gynecology. Boy working for women, stealing babies. Here's one, Laura Boney. Primary specialty. Obstetrics. Really? Running the transgender office of Connecticut. Hold on a second. Hey, I'm in the middle of one. I'll call you back. Rent a truck. See you tomorrow. Cool. Bye. Sorry, that's my man, giving me all news articles to run with. Let's get back to the story. Here it is. There's a doctor. I guess even Dr. Frankenstein was a doctor. But here we go. Here's the Middlesex Health Mayo Clinic Center for Gender Medicine and Wellness in Connecticut. Okay. Supported by the LGBT Healthcare Equality Safe Zone. Transgender primary care providers, specialty training, gender-affirming hormone therapy, gender-affirming surgery. Hormone therapy. Should we click on that? Find a provider. Oh my. Catherine Tierney. Emily Miller. Middletown. Oh my. Folks. Really? Really. Find a doctor. Our locations. Patients. Visitors. Let's get back to the story of Theodora. Well, if you go to Theodora et al. Versus the Department of Children and Families in Middletown, Connecticut, it's been filed in the District of Tennessee. Presiding Judge Alta Trauger, Civil Rights Case 28 USC at 1331. Department of Children and Families, Middletown, Connecticut. Vanessa Durante, David Friend, Marie Lavescu Greco, Michelle Peterson Tompkins, Lisa Sedlock Reeder, Susan Woodworth Naratsky, Brenda Partieka, Judge Norma Sanchez Figueroa. See, what no one is telling you in this case, which is being heard, okay, they're going after quite a few people here, including Senator Murphy, including Attorney General Tong. Look at the doctors right here. There's quite a few. Melissa Goodnight, Middlesex Hospital Security Office. Yes, they should be involved. The Ombudsman. Yes. Office of the Child Advocate. And Glostier Gopi. Oh, yes. No doubt about it. Susan Bisowitz. Ned Lamont. Michael Sparks. They're going to settle this case, folks. What's it worth? They stole a child. Here's the case number. 3-20-21 CV 008060. Let's Google that. Let's see if it comes up. Copy. Tennessee. Paste. Go. Let's see. Theodora. There it is. Civil rights case. 3-strike law. That ain't it. Okay. Let's go through the facts. Filing 5. Filing 4. Administrative order. Complaint. Now, what you don't see here, which no one has reported, which is extremely important, is you see this Norma L. Sanchez Figueroa? You see that? The judge gifted the baby to the court clerk. they gifted the baby to the court clerk. It took a year for them to give the baby back to the grandmother. And I have good news that I learned today. The baby is now back with the family. It took 2 years. The baby was born in 2018. It's 2021. Driving through Connecticut, our state created this liability. Lamont created this liability. Yes, Tong created this liability. The state General Assembly created this liability. The Ombudsman, the Office of I'm telling you, it's beyond words that we ourselves allowed our legislated, elected officials to steal children through the court process of people they didn't even know. Victims they did not even know. Victims they had no history of. To claim that an Egyptian is a Muslim terrorist while he's a med student in Kentucky is creating evidence. Look at this letter, okay? Richard Blumenthal, Attorney General. HIPAA has laws. One of the exceptions is 42 CFR, clearly applies here, allows the child advocate in furtherance of her Connecticut general statute duties within the scope of her power under Connecticut law to obtain health information that HIPAA would otherwise protect from disclosure without the patient's consent. Okay? This has happened multiple times to me. I've tried to get evidence about COVID deaths, and I've been refused. The hospital is saying that Joe Stacy died of COVID, yet they told his parents that he did not die of COVID because they wanted to deny the $1 million health claim that the insurance paid. So they recently took his house, his car, his boat, everything he owned to pay the $1 million fee. And it's on the state of Connecticut, folks, because Branson Ultrasonics and Emerson Electronics has a Wuhan, China production facility for electronics sold in the United States. The sales force is in Danbury, Connecticut. The salesman lived in West Haven, Connecticut. There are problems here with HIPAA. This is a Richard Blumenthal Attorney General letter. Robert Dykert, Assistant Attorney General, with the disclosures here, the administrative hearings. Here we go. Not prevent her from accessing health information necessary to the performance of her duties. So, what did we learn? They're using HIPAA to weaponize for the transgender hospital in Connecticut. Would you like to get back to see Ann Bingham's picture? How about Laura Boney? How about that? I left messages with them. I'm sure they won't call. Here's another one. The complaint is right here. It's a very long list. It's a systematic problem using and enforcing, using HIPAA to defend human trafficking in Connecticut. Need I say more? This is the perfect case to highlight, to demonstrate that Connecticut is using HIPAA to traffic children for judges. Now I'll try to keep it simple. I'm at 15 minutes. I bet you I get 2,000 views on this one. Yeah, because we got 2,000 on the other one. And there's other cases. I didn't even think of using this because I thought it was too low to stoop. But you know what? If we can stop human trafficking, that would be huge. But we can't. Bob Duff is claiming, my Senate Majority Leader is claiming, while he's weaponizing the Middlesex Hospital to turn girls into boys at early ages, when they haven't even made up their mind. Okay, now I have a friend with a daughter who was taken when she was 13 and is now treated at this hospital, getting shots, becoming a boy, because Malloy enabled same-sex marriages to adopt kids. And now 2 gay men adopted a daughter who was stolen, and is now getting therapy shots to become a boy because the 2 gay guys have convinced her that she's a man, trapped in a woman's body. How unlikely is that? These are depraved psychos. Have a great day. I think we need to kick all these people out. I make a pledge. I will make it my business if elected to fix these problems. It's my pledge. I'm committed to cleaning house. No one else is gonna do it. Thanks.